zone, on the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it so. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a walk for wherever the ball go. Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. They stand off in the red zone. All I see is red home.
Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home. If you got your flag, throw that thing in the air, baby. Cowboys get the dub 22-10. They keep the streak alive. The defense keeps the streak alive. 1 touchdown a dang on game, man.
That's crazy.
This is craziness. 22-10. Dallas moves to 4-1. Philly, we coming for you. As y'all can see, I am just excited right now. I'm pumped up, man. Cowboys move to 4-1. Jesse Holley, Skywalker still.
Give the Funk's Flex grill. The Funk's Flex grunt.
Man, if you like defense, you had to love this game.
My man got the right jersey on right there.
You had to love it,
man.
He
got the right jersey. Come here,
Funk's. You had to love it, man.
Come here. He got the right jersey on right here. Look,
my
look.
man, look at
his jersey.
Was out here.
Look at his jersey, y'all.
Out here on 60%.
Well, be careful. Be careful now. We let you back here.
On
Don't spill
60%.
Yeah.
And still got 2 sacks.
Appreciate you, brother.
Huh?
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
Huh? Let me tell you something that this defense has done the last 4 weeks. Close the game out against Cincy.
Yeah.
Close the game out against the Giants. You can say they closed it out because they got the pick against, at the end with Deron Blair, but the game was over.
Right.
And they closed this game out against the Rams. This defense is elite. This defense listen, Super Bowl champion Matt Stafford. I don't care how he's playing.
Yeah.
Tom Brady scored 1 touchdown and turned the ball over. Joe Burrow ain't looked like nothing. And Daniel Jones just won and beat Aaron Rodgers. Forgive me for me being excited, but I think this defense can take you somewhere, Cowboys Nation. Jesse, you better take it over, or this is just going to be me talking all goddamn
No, do
day.
you think? First of all, I don't have much voice anyway, but this is I like when you in this bag. So stay in this bag and do what you do.
This defense is allowing me to feel a little arrogant.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You walking in crotch first.
And on the other side of the ball, all I ask is to score twice a game. You didn't even have to do that today.
Yep.
1 touchdown and don't turn the ball over, and you got a chance to beat every single opponent in this league the way it's looking, man. Now, you got a big test next week, but we'll talk about that. And I got hype at the beginning, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. Your thoughts overall on this game?
Someone asked me earlier this week about naming this defense. And I said, maybe it's a little bit too early. I said 4 weeks into the season, now 5 weeks into the season, about giving this defense a name.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe I'm still got a little PTSD from the Hot Boys. Right? But I think this defense is far and away way better than what that was as a defense.
Right.
But this defense is legit. It's definitely top 3 defense in the league. When you talk about, to me, I look at the Cowboys, the Bucks, and the Niners defense in no particular order. But in that conversation, the Cowboys have yet to give up more than 20 points this season on defense. That says a lot about a defense in an all-time scoring league. This version of the National Football League has been made and built. Rules, players, everything has been built for you to go out there and score a bunch of points. That's what people want to see day in and day out when they watch games on TV.
Yeah.
But this defense has found out, and not found out, but you F around and you found out. Teams are effing around with this defense and finding out. They finding out real quickly that this defense, especially up front, and that's where it all starts. It all starts with those dogs up front, led by 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, whatever percent Micah Parsons is, it starts with him, and the rest of those dogs follow.
5 sacks today on Matt Stafford, and I feel like 4 of them came in the 4th quarter.
Yep.
Now, I could be wrong, but 5 sacks on Matt Stafford, 2 by Micah Parsons. Dorrance Armstrong set the tone today. early in the game. Don't let that go unnoticed. With the strip sack, picks it up by DeMarcus Lawrence, goes in, scores a touchdown. Next possession, blocks the punt. Who else got in on the party for the sacks? Osa Odigizua gets in on the party with the sacks, and I'm missing one. Oh, Jordan Lewis technically got credited for a sack because he ran out of bounds, so they gave it to Jordan Lewis. But, I mean, you just can't – I'm running out of words for them. I said this on a tweet. I said what I love about this defense is that within the game, they respond to adversity. Big play, I bet. Do it again. Touchdown, I bet. Score again. They haven't allowed a team to score more than one touchdown yet.
Yeah.
I don't think we can just gloss over that. This is without a shadow of a doubt the best Cowboys defense I've seen in the Garrett and now McCarthy era. Seriously. And now we're 5 weeks, a lot of game left, but I think after next week you'll have played the biggest chunk or the toughest chunk of the offenses that were supposed to be the offenses, right?
Yes.
The Jamar Chase, Joe Burrows, the Mike Evans, Tom Brady's. Now Philly's offense is up there with the rest of the league or what have you. The Sean McVay, Matt Stafford offenses. You've played them and you've absolutely shut them the heck down, man. Period. So just a fantastic performance all around. While the offense wasn't spectacular today, they continued to do what they're supposed to do. Don't turn the ball over. And just honestly at this point, just score. If you score one touchdown and you got to kick a bunch of field goals, the way this defense is playing, you're good to go, man.
Yeah. I mean, there are no many words to describe what this team did defensively. They showed up and they showed out.
Yeah.
Yes, you could say Cooper Kupp got his 7 for 125 and a touchdown, but we said that coming to this game.
If he does it, that's fine. Don't
That's
let anybody
fine.
else
You
do
can't
it.
let anybody else get there. Like, he's going to get his. They're going to make sure that he got his. And this defense has just been – I'm out of words.
I'm starting to run out, too.
I'm legit out of words of how to describe or praise or cheer or to big up, to raise up this defense because they have just been that good. And like you said earlier, there were a bunch of guys who were getting in on this party.
Everybody got in on
everybody is getting in on this party, and it's become absolutely contagious. And the exciting part is that eventually, because I think these last two offensive performances will absolutely, definitely tell you that you do need Dak Prescott back.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Like 100%. But that's the exciting part, is that when you get him back, you now will have a quarterback that can actually go and score you points, that can actually go out there and put points up on the board. So if you're getting 22 with a guy who in
10 for 16,
who at 10 for 16 for 100 passing yards, I think Dak Prescott can give you a little bit more than that. If they can get 30 points a game when Dak Prescott comes back, and maybe not right out the gate, but if they can get 25, 30, 35 points a game when Dak Prescott comes back with this defense, holy moly guacamole, look out. This may be something special.
I don't think this team has peaked. I know it's going to sound crazy because last year, and think about this for a second. This is now 2 seasons in a row the Cowboys have started off at least 4-1. Last year it was 6-1 and 7-2 after the following game, but 6-1 and this year 4-1. Kudos to this staff, right? Nothing fancy today offensively, but at least here's the one thing I was going to get worried about, and we saw it on that 3rd and 13. I'm like, Kellen, there's no need, right? We don't got to get cute. Cowboys are up 9, 5 minutes left. Just continue to just truck this thing along, get the field goal, get the points, and get out of there. He did that, to his credit. They ran the ball 34 times. They passed the ball 16 times. I mean, I'm not saying you do that every week. I'm just saying, to me, it showed that he understood what was going on in this game. Right, he understood I don't need to drop back a whole bunch because my defense is absolutely balling, and all we need to do is convert here and get some field goals. Now, in the second half, they did better on 3rd downs. First half, they were 1 for 5. Second half, they were 4 for 8. So 50% would be, I think, like middle of the pack in the league, but that's better than the first half, right? So they did enough, and I can't. That 3rd and long conversion to Michael Gallup was a massive play. And again, it happened early in the 3rd, but it ended up being a massive play because it puts you up 2 possessions. Now, they got the first, but they didn't get anything after that, but they got points, right? And that's what you need. Remember, we talked about that coming out. Hell, I'll take points,
right? The
way the defense is playing, and they got those points, and you could see that the Rams just couldn't do what they wanted to do offensively. It was either feast or famine, big play or nothing. And for majority of this game, it was nothing.
No, and you see the way the Cowboys played defense as well. They were saying, hey, we're going to give you everything underneath, right? We don't want to give up the big plays. And the two big plays that they gave up, the shallow cross to Cooper Kupp, that was just a great play, great throw, and Cooper Kupp being who he is. And then the one to Tutu Atwell, that was more of a blown coverage. Should have had a safety back there, but he bit up on the play action. But other than that, the Cowboys said, hey, we're going to give you everything underneath. We're going to play back and allow you not allow you to have the big play, because Dan Quinn understood the way this offense is rolling right now. They're either feast or famine. They're either we're going to hit the home run or we're going to try to matriculate it down the field. And I like my chances if you're going to try to dink and dunk the whole way down the field. We'll either get to your quarterback, we'll either get in the passing lane, or you'll make a mistake. And outside of those really two big plays from Cooper Kupp and the other one by Tutu Atwell,
nothing.
That was nothing. There was nothing else really for them to go. That was almost 200. Those two plays were almost 200 yards of passing offense. And then everything else was kind of just, underneath. 8, 7, 10, 15. It was kind of like everything else was underneath. And they were going to keep it that way and say, we'll live and take our chances, tackling everything in front of us, and then allow you to make a mistake, and we'll capitalize on it.
Even Cooper Kupp only had 50 yards other than that one reception. That was the only reception for Tutu Atwell. And just like we predicted here, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, your most targeted guys in the game. I mean, it's been that way all year for him. He barely – Allen Robinson got 3 catches, I think, in the first quarter, and then after that it was just nothing per usual. And a big shout-out to the run defense, because we knew that this team struggles with the misdirection and all this and all that. I don't know. We'll go back and watch the film on how much they used it, but it felt like it did not even matter because they shut those boys down. 15 carries, 38 yards.
Wow.
There wasn't many. Honestly, out of the 15 carries, I'd venture to guess at least 5 of them went for negative yards. So this run defense even stepped up today. Different animal of style of a run defense, that you're going to have to deal with next week, right? But so far, so good from a totality defensively. I've always said, if you're going to beat the Cowboys via the run, you better score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they are locking up in the red zone. They were a top 5 red zone defense coming in. They're probably a top 5 red zone defense going out, because the only touchdown these boys got came from a 75-yard.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you're absolutely right. And when you look at this team, they committed today to rushing the football. The Cowboys said, we're going to rush the football. We're going to make you have to stop us, and we're going to not allow Cooper Rush to lose a game for us. That's what they did. They literally said, we ran the ball 34 times and passed it 16, almost twice as many runs as there were passes. 76, 100 yards passing with his sacks. It came out to 76 total yards that he passed the ball. I mean, if I read you that stat line, you'd have said, well, they didn't win that football game.
76 net passing yards.
Or, that game was way closer than what it really should have been. And this game, honestly, wasn't really a close game. When the Cowboys got the lead and they went up, what was it?
9?
9 points.
That was it.
That was it. That felt like this thing was pretty much over, because the Rams couldn't do anything offensively, and they couldn't get anything offensively done.
What I like over the last 2 weeks, I've seen like a drastic opposite effect, where last week the run game wasn't really on, right? But he stuck with it. This week the passing game wasn't really on, but Kellen understood I don't need to go crazy here. Right? Just the defense is I'm playing complementary football. I'm calling complementary football. Cooper Rush, I almost said Cup again. Cooper Rush is understand. I'm gonna just play complementary football here. Right. There's just no need to do anything crazy. And so kudos to the staff and the players for executing overall. Just a really exciting victory, and I'm fired up for next week. But I'm gonna try to hone in on this, and then throughout the week we'll talk about what's gonna happen next week. But just saying, man, this looks like that type of defense that could do some really interesting things in the playoffs.
It sounds like you're hesitant to say what you really want to say.
Oh, no, I called this a Super Bowl defense before.
Okay.
Before the season, right? But this just looks like you can't go more than Super Bowl defense, right? Obviously, Super Bowl defense, but it's like one of those defenses, man, that can carry you. You know what I'm saying?
No, and it's carried this football team all year long, and that's why I'm getting a little bit excited about the outlook of this football team when it gets back its quarterback.
And
Because now you can play even with a little bit even more aggression, because there's an opportunity there to say, hey, even if we screw up, our quarterback is back in there and he can do things that we weren't able to do before and score points. So you can even be now even more aggressive, maybe bring more blitzes and more different schemes, because you have a quarterback that's going to be able to go out there and give you 28, 30 points a game when he's out there playing and performing.
Yeah, we haven't had to score more than 20. I mean, if we be honest with you, the Cowboys haven't had to score more than 20 all year. Haven't had to. They scored 25 last week, but, I mean, was it 17 or 20, 23, 22, 25, 22? That's average points.
It's been 20
when your defense goes 17, 16, 19, 17, 16, 10, and 10.
Yep.
I just need a tutty and 2 field goals. Right? 3 field goals if you're 17 points. But man, it's really, really fun. I mean, I'll say it every week, but this defense is fun. It's just fun to watch, man. And they're getting these victories, they're knocking them off, and winning becomes contagious. And next week, Sunday Night Football, for first place in the division, at the link, Cowboys-Eagles. Oh my goodness.
I never thought I would find myself as an offensive guy, a career offensive guy, all the way back to Little League. I get more excited to see this team's defense, this Cowboys defense on the field, than I do the offense. Like, the offense gets the ball, I'm like, y'all can hurry up and punt, because I just want to see the defense back on the field. Like, they're way more exciting on the field, because I'm like, something good is going to happen. Something exciting is going to happen. So I'm like, get the offense off the field. Let's get this defense back out here so they can go out here and do what they do.
You rarely see an offense, their touchdown percentage decrease every game, but you win. It's very rare. We read that stat off in the pregame show. That number's actually going to get worse now, because you only had one out of, I don't know how many possessions they had, like 8 possessions or whatever.
Yeah.
And it came on a, 75-yard runner, 75-yard touchdown. No, I'm talking about Pollard, whatever,
Pollard,
50-something yard, whatever it was. And it came on a big run. It's rare you see that. So what we're seeing, it's 5 weeks. The word I'm really struggling to not use is special.
Okay.
Because special defenses do finish that whole thing. And then you talk about special defenses throughout, a full season. But I think they are teetering on special. I don't know what the numbers are from a Cowboys historical standpoint, but I guarantee you this has to be up there with the 72 or 77 defenses that haven't allowed 20 points yet 5 weeks in. That, sure, they gave up their first 300-yard game but in the air, but I will take that 300 yards, 5 sacks, 2 turnovers from the quarterback.
So where do you now stand? We saw him limp off the field at halftime.
Micah.
We saw him come back in. He finished the game with 2 sacks, right? And this is a guy who was like,
Micah's ridiculous, man.
He's come out and said, he goes, man, a 60% me is better than 100% somebody else. Well, that's insane. Not insane in the bad way. That's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy to even say that, but
that's where you want to see Micah lined up, though, right? Is when we're up 9, 2 possessions. Now you got to throw.
Right.
Now it's time for the Lion to eat. And the beautiful thing about this is what I mentioned it earlier. This is a pride thing. It ain't just Micah. And I think when teams go into this, and it's funny because we saw that, I don't know what that video was.
It's not just Micah.
It's not just Micah.
But it's because of Micah.
Micah wasn't on that field. It wasn't because of Micah when Dorrance Armstrong got that sack fumble.
No, I'm talking about just in overall. Like, I think the defense has changed. Its perception, its attitude, its everything because of number 11.
No. Micah Parsons has changed the culture, Dan Quinn too, of this defense. But it's not just Micah. Your pass defense has been phenomenal all season. Your other guys have been making plays when Micah ain't even on the field. Like, this isn't the Sean Lee-led defenses of the mid-2010s, where, man, if Sean Lee ain't playing or out on that field, big plays are happening on you.
This is my next question to you is, when this team this year has taken big losses as far as injuries, Tyron Smith being the first, Dak Prescott being the second, and this kind of trend has kind of continued. Can this Cowboys team, not only defensively, can this Cowboys team afford to lose a guy like Micah Parsons for a game or two? Because we don't know. It looked like his groin. I said a couple weeks ago, it looked like something was hampering him. I don't know if that was the reason why. But if he has to miss a game, now I know Micah's going to come out and say, I ain't missing no game. I'm ready to go. But can this team afford? Can those others hold up the fort without Micah Parsons in a game for entirety?
You know why? Because tell me who you're playing. All right? You think they can't hold up against Justin Fields? They can't hold up against Kirk Cousins? They can't hold up against, you know what I'm saying? Like, I 100% believe because this defense isn't just Micah. It's led by Micah. It's led by Micah, right? But Dan Quinn, I think, has formed a defense that is one as opposed to individuals. And just so happens to be, you may have the best or second best defensive player on that team. So what does that do? It makes your one, maybe the number one because of Micah Parsons. Where look on the other side of the ball, you could argue they've got a more star-studded defense. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Bobby Wagner. But that defense isn't playing like one. So there's a great example of, and that's the greatest player of our generation, you know what I'm saying, with Aaron Donald, where you can be great, but if the rest of your pack ain't coming with you, does it matter? You're sitting at 2-3. I could argue the Cowboys don't even, bro, I thought it was hyperbole when Micah Parsons came out and said, man, I don't care what the offense, I don't care. This is before the season. I don't care what the offense does. We're going to handle ours. If we need to go win the game, we'll win it. It sure is showing it to me that, man, they can go win these games.
No,
right?
he's backed up everything he said.
With that said, I don't want to see Micah miss time, but got to keep our ears to the ground. What's up with that groin injury? Because the game I don't want to miss, this is why I said who we playing.
Right.
Is Philly. I don't want Micah Parsons out there, or not out there against Philly, because this is going to be a game where we're going to need him to run around and chase Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So that's the game. That's why I said, who are we playing? Justin Fields, the Lions, who have actually been pretty decent offensively, but sure. Philly, not so much. I don't want to miss him against Philly. I don't want to miss him, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss him, period.
And
we'll see where
I was leaning more towards that of, can we afford to miss him during Philly? Is this defense good enough to, if he has to sit out a game versus Philly, which again, I'm not saying that he is. If I know Micah Parsons, he's going to try and do everything in his breathable power to be on that field come Sunday Night Football. But in the event that he can't, or that he cannot finish a game, that's why I wanted to ask the question, is this defense good enough to win it without him?
Next week?
Yes.
I'm going to say I don't want to see it, but just the momentum of this defense right now, I think they can carry that momentum. If he happens to play and then has to come out, there's something about the leadership, about a J-Ron Curse, about a Malik Hooker, about a Dan Quinn that I think can rally these troops. Hey, our guy's out right now. We need to level up.
Right.
We need to level up for 3 quarters or whatever it may be, for 4 quarters, for 3 possessions, for this series, whatever it may be. And I do feel confident that they can level up and do it, but I don't want to see it consecutively. But it's hard for me to envision this defense not being able to do it because everybody is getting involved in this thing. It's a beautiful thing to watch, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch. But something maybe we'll have to have a conversation about this offseason. I'm sorry, this week.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
My apologies on this one, man. I got so dang on excited. Our post-game show is presented by Callahan Motor Company. And let me pull that up for you guys here. Callahan Motor Company, guys, is the number one motor company in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Most quality-oriented pre-owned dealership in the DFW area. And as a family-owned and operated business, they have served the public since 2009. From sales to trade-ins to finance, you can count on Callahan Motor Company with over 150 vehicles regularly in stock from over 25 different brands. Callahan Motor Company has a perfect car for you. So drop by the dealership in Keller, Texas today or visit CallahanMotorCompany.com to find your ride. Also, we do have to discuss the DFW Turf Tough matchup. Now, the Cowboys did not win this Turf Tough matchup, but they won the game. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
The Turf Tough matchup was Aaron Donald versus Tyler Smith.
Yeah. It was tough.
Good teaching tape for Tyler.
It was tough. Right? It was a tough day for the young rook. And you know what? If Aaron Donald beats you, you go back and you say, I just played arguably the best player
right.
in my generation. In my generation, I played the best defensive player in my generation today in a game of football, and he whooped me. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because then I can go back and I can learn. Now, if it's an Adrian Claiborne, if it's someone that's like, you're not supposed to get whooped by that dude, then I got a problem. But being beat as a rookie by Aaron Donald, to me, that's not a knock. To me, that's not a knock at all. Like, it's not a knock at all. And I pray that he doesn't lose any confidence in that because, dude, this is Aaron Donald. Like, rookie, 3rd year, 5th year, 10th year, 15th year. He whoops up on them all.
He whoops up on everybody.
So I don't want Tyler Smith to look at this and be like, man, no, that is Aaron Donald. He's been doing that for the last 8 years. He is the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a 7-time first-team All-Pro.
First ballot, but if there was a pre-first ballot, he'd be on it. So,
Tyler Smith, don't take this as a knock.
No.
Take this as, okay, I got a chance to play the best. How do what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? How can I get better? And let this be the thing that catapults you in the future that say, when I run into Aaron Donald again, whatever that may be playoffs. If I run into Aaron Donald again, I'll be better equipped to deal with a situation like that. And you're not going to face, well, maybe next week. Maybe next week you got a bit of a challenge in that as well. But no one is
I was about to say, you ain't going to face Aaron
as
Donald
good
for a
as
while.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, who you now next week is a good defensive line to throw a lot of guys at you, but
right.
AD's AD. Also, what we got to also look at is what about the other, I don't know how many plays they had here, 40 plays or whatever it was, right? Like, how did he perform in those plays? And did he get wins against AD? Because it seemed like the only person he was struggling with, and I could be wrong, but was AD.
Right.
And if that's the only guy you struggle with, you take that on the chin and you move forward. Now, he did have a few penalties as well with that. I mean, both of the penalties he had on AD, he still got the sack, which is just Aaron Donald.
It's Aaron Donald.
It's just Aaron Donald, man.
You got to take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that Tyler Smith is going to go, into the film room and be down on himself. Listen to the young man speak. I think he's a smart kid. He's a tough kid. He's going to take this as a learning experience, and we're going to move forward with it. I truly do.
Yeah, and if Jason Peters has been any type of big brother to him, he'll say the same thing. He said, listen, young fella.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's okay. Like, I can show you
I
film.
got whooped by him.
I can show you film when he probably got me too.
He did.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's not look at this situation and as a negative for your future. This is Aaron Donald. This is what he does. Let's get better. Let's work on our technique. Let's work on some things and know that the next time I face a player like him or face him, that I'll be better equipped to handle it.
That was the Turf Tough matchup presented by DFW Turf. Hey, I'm spending hours every week mowing your lawn and spending $1,000 every year on lawn maintenance is an L. Don't take an L. Just to have your yard that dies during the summer and gets muddy when it rains. What if I told you that you can save all of that time and money, all while having a yard that looks as green and clean as a Cowboys turf that they play on? Well, thanks to DFW Turf Solutions, your perfect lawn is only a call away. DFW Turf Solutions is the #1 artificial grass company in the DFW area. They only install the highest quality residential turf at your home and give you the yard of your dreams. So visit dfwturf.com today. All right, final thoughts, Jesse, as we head out of here with the victory, 22-10, moving to 4-1, and head on into the big matchup next week for first place in NFC East.
Man, the big thoughts that came out of this game was Kellen Moore didn't glitch and try to get into his passing back. He understood the assignment. He understood, and again, we always preface this. We come on as soon as the game goes off. So we haven't had time to truly go back, rewind, look over this thing. So we're coming right off the cuff off our notes of what we saw. But when you look at just the overall stats of it, you see Kellen Moore seriously committed to the run And he's bought in. Kellen Moore has bought into the fact that our defense is so good that I don't have to overdo it. I don't have to try to go out there and create something that is not there. I don't have to go out there and try to create points or scoring situations. All I have to do is go out there and just control the clock, not get behind the sticks, give us some sort of lead, allow our defense to rest a little bit, because when they get back on the field, they're going to handle whatever they have to handle. So for me, it's Kellen Moore understanding that this defense is the leader, is the de facto leader of this football team. It no longer belongs to the offense. And maybe when that comes back, it may. But right now, this is a defensive-led team, and I'm going to continue to call the plays in such a manner.
I keep coming away from each of these victories, and I think about the term complementary football. They are, I said this week, if you look up the definition, if there was one, like if you looked in a dictionary and you put a picture next to complementary football, it is your 2022 Dallas Cowboys. Your offense, again, not doing anything special, but also not turning the ball over. Your defense, we said enough about the defense. And your special teams. I cannot let this third of the game get underlooked over the last 4 weeks. They have been fantastic. Whether it's Brian Anger in the Cincinnati game, pinning them back. Whether it's Devontae Turpin putting you in field goal position or helping you get yardage to get closer to win the game. Whether it's Brett Maher, your leading scorer, Cowboys Nation. Brett Maher nailing these field goals time in and time out. Whether it's Dorrance Armstrong blocking a punt or blocking a field goal. This group, the special teams, is complementing the defense, which is the offense, which is complementing the defense. It is complementary football. Now, there's going to be games where one of these are off, and it's going to be, well, can this other unit raise the level of play? Today, it was your special teams and defense. Your special teams got the block punt and gave you 3 crucial points. Yep. Your defense got you a touchdown. You got 9 points that had nothing to really do with your offense. I'm not saying this can continue every single week, but there's going to be games where your defense may not have it or your offense may not have it, but eventually you're going to get your QB1 back where your offense does improve, and I think the offense will then be able to have their defenses back like it did before in the past. Mm-hmm. So if they continue to play complementary football, I think this streak will continue. I think even if they lose a game, right, I think you still put yourself in position later on in the season. But complementary football cannot go overlooked. Can't go overlooked, man.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And it's coming from a special teams guy. I know you love that.
Oh, listen. Anytime, and that's the thing about when you get a block punt, when you get those return yards, all those hidden yards, that stuff people don't even give you credit for.
Nah.
But it's so significant in the outcome of a game. And so when it happens and it's on the forefront, that definitely makes me excited. And, you know, we've kicked Bone Fossil in the nuts enough for some of his crazy stuff. But he's gotten these units to perform at a high level this year, and I think there's not a better word to use than complementary football.
Complementary football.
That's a great term, a word combination to use right there. Complementary football. And the Cowboys have bought into that on all phases of the game, and it's showing out that got them at 4-1.
Got them at 4-1. Unbelievable. Great game today by the Cowboys. We will see you on
Wednesday.
But for you, let them know where they're going to find you at all throughout the weekend.
5 days a week, you can find me at DallasCowboys.com. I hang with the boys. You and I will be together for Wednesday night, what we call it, Bible study.
Bible study, Cowboys 4th and long. Yeah.
Cowboys 4th and long on Wednesday night. And,
Believe.
And Believe. You can see me on Believe, too, Mondays and Fridays. So I'm out here. I'm outside.
Yes, indeed.
With no voice.
Like he said, 5 days a week for him, 5 days a week for me. A to Z Sports Dallas here on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure y'all come through every morning. And then on Wednesday, but it'll probably drop Thursday, Cowboys 4th and long. Yes. We'll talk a little bit more about this game and then preview the next game, which is huge. Maybe we'll talk more about – it's hard, though, because we don't want to give too much into the next game because we got to do the pregame show.
Yeah.
But, man, this is going to be such a huge game next week. I cannot wait to talk about it. And then you can find me on Twitter as well, at Skywalker Still, and then at –
Mr. 4th and long.
Mr. 4th and long. That's it. It is Mr. 4th and long. Yeah, no underscores, no nothing.
No, Mr. 4th and long.
Yeah, I was like, all right, what else? But
that's it. That's it. That's all of it. That's all of it right there.
All right, Cowboys Nation, for Jesse Holley, for Skywalker Still, another one in the books, baby. Let's go.
What a rush.
We out of here.
I'm in my zone, on the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule. schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it soul. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a walk for wherever the ball go. Yeah, it's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. They stand off in the red zone. All I see is red home. Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home.